In the Spider-Man Batman comic from 1995, Batman and Spider-Man team up with each other and take on Carnage and the Joker. The story starts off with Peter. He's having nightmares of the night his Uncle Ben died, and how he still feels guilty about how he let the burglar go that took his uncle's life. He wakes up from the nightmare with Mary Jane comforting him. Peter mentions how he has a nightmare often, and without MJ's help, he doesn't know if he can get through it. He swings through the night as Spider-Man and talks about how Aunt May and Uncle Ben taught him good morals and ethics. And he ends it with talking about May's example, which is how life will always be worth living as long as they have family and people that they cherish and love. And he prays that Peter Parker and Spider-Man can live up to her example. It then cuts to Bruce Wayne having his own nightmare. This time, it's about his parents being gunned down. He remembers all the details, like the blast of the gun and the thud of his mother's body on the pavement. In this nightmare, Bruce always tries to save his family, but it's always too late, every time. Bruce mentions how he has this dream every night. He thinks about that night all the time, mentioning how Bruce died that day along with his parents. Alfred walks in to check up on Bruce, but Bruce vanishes through his window. Bruce, now patrolling Gotham, talks about how much he loves and appreciates Alfred for doing everything he can after that fateful night. But Bruce mentions even with Alfred doing everything he can, there's a chasm that can't be crossed, a wall of solitude that can't be penetrated. He thinks about what his life could have been if his parents were still alive, if he would have been someone different, but then thinks to himself what the point is of thinking about that, and that fate made him the way he is, Batman, and nothing could ever change that. It then cuts back to Spider-Man. His friend, the psychotherapist Ashley Kafka, asked him to come to Ravencroft Institute to help them watch over the evil Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, while Ashley tries to talk to Cletus. She tries to get through to Cletus, but nothing works. Cletus talks about his very dark childhood and the horrible things his parents have done to him. Cletus says the best thing to do is kill him, because if they don't, he'll break out and kill them instead. He then breaks out, and Spider-Man immediately rushes in to try and stop him. Peter mentions how he has to constantly attack Carnage, because if he gives him any room to breathe, everyone in the room or even the building is as good as dead. The Ravencroft security guards then shoot down Carnage with their microwave guns, neutralizing Carnage. Then, a woman named Cassandra Breyer enters the room. She's a behavioral psychologist appointed to deal with Cletus Cassidy and others like him. She says that they have created a biotechnic cure for insanity, where they insert a small computer chip into the cerebral cortex, which alters the brainwaves, making them sane and functioning members of society. They go through with this experiment, which does seem to have worked for Cletus. Cassandra then mentions, however, that won't be the only procedure they do for the night. It then cuts to Gotham, where Batman stops one of Joker's plans, taking him down. Batman then thinks to himself about maybe him and Joker are destined to do this until they die, and that if he has to protect the city from the Joker's poisonous mind, then so be it. Cassandra then enters Arkham Asylum and explains to the staff that she is going to use her biochip on Joker next. She then brings in Cletus Cassidy and shows that the procedure does prove to be successful, as Cletus seems to be calmer and much more timid. She goes through with this procedure with Joker, and after a week, it seemed to have worked, because Joker is now timid and harmless. She is very sure the procedure worked. In fact, she's so sure, she gets in a car with both of them as they drive away through the streets of Gotham. Cletus, eyes turning red, then transforms into Carnage, killing their driver and calling Cassandra an idiot for thinking it would work. His symbiote shorted out the little chip for it to have no effect on him. Carnage then breaks out of the car while holding Cassandra and Joker hostage, and tells the security officers that he'll let them live if they just walk away. One of the guards tells the others to stand down, and then rips off his disguise, revealing himself to actually be Batman, who's following them the entire time. Batman tells Cletus to let Cassandra go and to fight him instead. Carnage tells Batman that he doesn't understand that he's not obsessed with him like his other villains are. One artery to Carnage is as good as the next. Spider-Man then swoops in and saves Cassandra while Carnage is distracted. Batman then charges at Carnage and attacks him. They then get into a fight, with Spider-Man joining the mix. Carnage tells Joker that he doesn't have to worry and assures him that he isn't going to kill him. Carnage then attacks the officers nearby with his tendrils. With Spidey and Batman distracted, he takes Joker and escapes. Batman tells Spider-Man that after they see through the wounded, he wants Spider-Man out of his city, that he doesn't need his help, and that he'll just get in the way. Spider-Man then tells him that whether he likes it or not, he's gonna get his help. It then cuts to Carnage and Joker. Carnage tells Joker that he was playing dumb for as long as he did so he can meet the Joker. He then uses his powers to short-circuit the chip in Joker, turning him back into the evil character we all know. So it seems the biochip does actually work to make them sane, but Carnage was likely the wrong person to try it on. Anyways, Carnage admires Joker's insanity and tells him that they belong together. It then cuts back to Batman at the Batcave, researching Carnage, and thinks about how Carnage's madness is different from others that he fought, and that Carnage is the kind of villain that can affect you with his madness very easily. It then cuts to Spider-Man, who is fanboying about meeting Batman. His spider sense then shows him that a lady in an alley is getting attacked. He then notices that people in the nearby buildings are doing nothing, and he's shocked at the fact that nobody's doing anything to help. He then links it to himself about how he did the same thing to the burglar he let go that ended up killing his uncle. He stops the attacker, saving the woman who thanks him. Batman then pulls up with his Batmobile and tells Spidey to get in. It then cuts back to Joker and Carnage. Joker tells Carnage of his plans to place viruses into Joker in the Box toys that the Wayne Foundation will give away to needy tots for Christmas. Carnage then tells him that the idea is stupid. Carnage tells him that giving them slow deaths is a waste of time, and that the fun of killing is the immediacy. Joker, disgusted, tells Carnage he's distasteful, and calls Carnage an idiot for his mindset. Joker then says how wrong he was about even thinking of working with Cletus. Carnage then attempts to kill Joker. Joker escapes, however, and blows up the building Cletus is in. It then cuts to Batman and Spidey. Batman tells him they realize that he does need Spider-Man's help, with Spider-Man joking around and telling him he gets that, and that he's waiting for Superman to call him, with Batman showing some frustration about that, which was pretty funny. Batman then tracks down Cletus by using the biochip. They find a dead body under the building, which they think is Cletus. Spider-Man mentions to Batman that Cletus uses a trick where he wraps his symbiote around a dead body to make you think he's dead, and then ambushes you. Carnage, then out of nowhere, pops out and ambushes Batman, trapping him with his tendrils. Carnage mentions how he's 10 times faster than Batman, with Batman saying that without his powers, he's just a common street punk. Carnage tells Spider-Man that if he does anything, he'll kill Batman on the spot. Batman yells at Spider-Man to stop him anyway, since Carnage is going to kill him either way. Joker then appears, who tells Carnage he has no right to kill Batman. Joker then reveals a Joker in the box containing a deadly virus, announcing that he plans to unleash it immediately. Carnage now displays a fear of being killed. Batman then realizes that this fear affects the control of the symbiote and uses that to his advantage. He then attacks Carnage, and Spider-Man uses a commotion to get the Joker in the box away from Joker. Batman and Carnage then get into a brawl. Batman then thinks to himself that he was wrong to call Cletus a common street punk, and that Cletus is just a scared little boy, just like Bruce was, but Bruce realizes that some of them grow up to be men, while others don't. He takes down Carnage. Spider-Man then chases down Joker, dodging his gunfire and catching him. Spider-Man then tells Joker how much of an evil monster he is, and that the only way to stop him is to kill him. Spider-Man then asks himself what he's doing, and then instead of killing him, just knocks him out, saying that he has an example to live up to, a faith that he'll never betray. With both the villains locked away, Batman and Spider-Man are perched on a roof together, unsure of what to say to each other. Batman then reaches out to shake Spider-Man's hand, showing that the simplest gesture proves to be the most eloquent.